It is no secret that the Kenyan film industry is growing at such an immeasurable pace, and now more than ever, there is need for young filmmakers to jump on board. The Kenya Film Summit hosted its second edition at the KCA University to enlighten these young filmmakers about the industry and to show them that there is indeed light at the end of the tunnel. Take a look at how things went. The film industry in Kenya has been suffused with growth and improvement over the recent years, an indication of a lucrative industry whose future looks certain. The Kenya Film Summit has for 2 years been providing a platform where film students can learn about film and participate in screenwriting and photography contests.
My name is Dr. Rachel Dianga. I am a lecturer of film at USIU, where I actually am the chair of the Department of Cinematic Arts. And I'm here in my capacity as the vice chair of FLETA. I'm an active FLETA member. And what's happening today is that we have come together for the second Kenya Film Summit organized by FLETA. The first one was hosted at USIU, where I was the host. And so we are really happy that despite COVID times, we are here to celebrate the second summit.
You know, the youth is the future. People have been saying it's the future. I keep on saying is the youth, their time is now. And what we see them doing is that they will create, you know, they will create anything. They are the center of innovation. They are the center of technology. They are able to pick everything and turn it into an action. And when that happens, then together we move with the youth in this country.
My name is Serge Nukwe. I'm the film and media attaché at the French Embassy here in Nairobi. And I'm happy to participate to the second edition of the Kenya Film Summit, which is a great initiative from the lecturers of film around the country. And it's the second edition. I think it's also time when it's been 10 years now in the country where the film program have been in place. So it's kind of an opportunity to discuss, to look back at what has happened, people who have been trained, where are they now, how is this program going, and now we are happy as the French Embassy to participate and to maybe also support in the future.
This summit aims to bring people to answer this question, that where do we find the bridge between what is being taught and what is being practiced? Basically the bridge between pedagogy and practice. We found out that there is quite a rift between what is being taught in classes vis-a-vis to what is being practiced by the industry. Most of the students are actually struggling to transition from the education channels to the job market. So by this summit aims to do that, and normally or basically we just need to network and see who's doing what is this school doing, because ideally the summit is a partnership between various schools that are teaching film.
A consortium of film lecturers and trainers have been in the forefront of this summit, working together by consolidating ideas and resources to ensure that the students get the best.
Actually, FLETA is just an association of film trainers in the country. Film being a very young enterprise, especially in terms of pedagogy, we thought it was very important that we combine synergies to be able to take in the film industry, which is not really an industry, because it's really a fledgling industry, to the next level. And we can only do that by comparing notes and combining forces, understanding how curricula in different institutions work, so that we are not at odds, so that we are actually working towards the same kind of destination.
Film training and practice in the industry. And in that session, we'll be very keen to find ways of connecting the training that we give in Kenya and the expectations of the industry, and how our students feel when they leave the university or the colleges they study in to go into the industry, how they are received, how easy is it for them.
This year's edition saw the students get an opportunity to interact with film practitioners, some behind movies that have been making headlines, who unreservedly shared how they have been able to maneuver the industry.
I started producing in 2011. I started my first film when I was in second year in KU. It was a short film. After then, it was called Rolling On. Won a few awards. Actually, it's what brought out the, film production aspect in me. did get some money, short film first, won the Machakos, the first Machawood Film Festival, and then we decided to make it into a feature film that sold out in 2016, the first ever film to sell out in the cinemas at Garden City. So it's a very interesting summit. I missed the first one. This being the second one, I've really learned a lot. Of course, I've had things. It's interesting that most of the professors and doctors who are talking are actually my lecturers. I studied film in KU, so I've really enjoyed the first bit of the summit. I've also learned a lot from KFCB and KFC as well, and I think it's a really, really, really interesting thing, especially because they are talking to students, to see a young person who was really pushed the passion, because many people have given up, especially people that we started with. Film industry wasn't that big at that time, so just them seeing that you can actually do it, I think it's enough for them.
My truth. It is the hardest thing to do, but I will. I am not a coward.
Film has always been accredited with exchange of culture. As an avenue with such capacity, there is need for young filmmakers to be guided on how to produce content that is apt and of good quality.
The role of AAFC is first of all to market Kenya as a filming destination across the world. And so this one we do through our tagline of film in Kenya, then capture Africa. We know that when stakeholders come from across the globe to film, to do their films here, then jobs are created for our youth, and that's why really we are even well placed in the Ministry of ICT, because then there's a lot of innovation, there's a lot of ability among our youth and among Kenyans.
It is my story. It is I against the forces of the world.
My name is Alexander Marcos Masiga. I'm a film registration officer at the Kenya Film Classification Board. And we're more than glad to actually be a part of the second edition of this film summit, because for us, it's actually an opportunity for us to have candid discussions about film training in the country, as well as, generally the film industry, because training institutions are the ones that build capacity of the filmmakers that are churned into the industry. Most importantly, we're also able to just interact with the various film practitioners and get them to understand their responsibilities, because at the end of the day, there's the responsibility that is bestowed on us as a board to actually regulate the industry. But again, for the film practitioner, there's also the responsibility of ensuring that they create the content responsibly. The same creators are also consumers of the content.
We believe in the power of the creative industries. We believe it creates jobs. We believe it creates just a better environment, a better society in general. People are also more confident when they have these opportunities to express themselves freely, and culture just plays a big role in the development of the youth. We work with Alliance Française, which is also obviously a partner, and we have so many events, so many things that we do, and we really believe this is something that helps the youth of Kenya in general to find jobs and just to realize itself on a global scale.
I think all industries have the do's and don'ts. All industries are governed by rules or regulations. So not knowing is not really a mistake, but if you have an opportunity to let them understand, it basically means that you're preparing them for the industry. Leaving school without understanding the legal framework or the environment in which you're operating is actually very dangerous even to your career. So the understanding will actually help them prepare adequately and face the even face the challenges that that are in the industry.
Organizing an event of such magnitude did not come without its fair share of challenges, especially now that the country is still battling with the COVID-19 pandemic.
With the COVID pandemic coming in earlier last year for Kenya, that is, it was a kind of a threat, a big threat indeed. But we are so lucky that last year we just had done our first summit and then COVID came. And this year we have managed to push it further in a matter of by a few months. And so as FLETA, we have actually managed to maneuver and escape the extreme impact of COVID on organizing of an event of this nature. However, if this was to be done earlier in the year, that would have been a big problem. But now we are glad that people are understanding COVID much more. People are taking precautions, social distancing and all this. And we are happy. We are glad we are here.
The question of job security after school has always been lingering in the minds of many students. This was a predominant issue the students needed to be addressed. The students commended and recommended more and frequent editions of the Kenya Film Summit moving forward.
I'm looking forward to a lot, basically, yeah. And I was sharing, we talked about the question about being relevant and staying relevant in the job market is always lingering in our minds as students. So ideally, when we are transitioning, we always anticipate that we are able to transition into a job space, and that is my target. I have been absorbed or incorporated by the school. I'm already working in the school, so that's a gain for once. So ideally, the next big thing or the next step will be to try and transition into a job market where I'm able to develop my skills and also have my skills relevant to a certain job function in the film industry.
I'm an aspiring filmmaker, and I don't know exactly my road on how to start and how to enter the world. I did my diploma, so you know now I'm confused whether I should do internship, I should look for a job. So at least here I'm going to get away of how I'm supposed to start my film career. Yes.
I had a few things which got me thinking about a few issues that I would like to raise in the next session. I'm actually very excited to get into the next session, which will be very involving and inclusive of us students, so that we can be able to say the real problems which are on the ground and possibly find solutions. Yes.
I think it's quite essential that we have these talks about films, about students, about films being produced. We have various stakeholders, the government involved, so that we are able to know where is the problem. When you have everyone sit at the table, we are able to know where is the problem coming from. And when we know the problem, we are able to know and task the way forward out of this problem.
These are things we would be more appreciative of to be having, not just once a year, but very often, because they get us to be talking about our problems and come up with solutions, because this industry needs to get to a better place. Yes.
Indeed, with young people getting into the film industry, the future can only be bright.